Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well wherever you are. I hope you're staying warm. Hey, BTF Phoenix, Jersey Girl, Sally, Joey Dimes, Harvick to win. Hope everybody's doing good today. So we're gonna, by my title, we're gonna talk about the Reiner case. What a sad, 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 sad case. Because we all grew up with Rob Reiner. Rob. Hey, Yizzo. Hey, FBS. How you doing? We all we all saw Rob Reiner in All in the Family, and his first wife. He was married to Penny Marshall. She played Laverne on Laverne and Shirley, and he wrote the pilot for Happy Days. I mean, he had his hands in so much. His dad was Carl Reiner. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at pages and pages of movies starting with like the most current, like Spinal Tap. He did Spinal Tap 1, Spinal Tap 2, God and Country, and he did Albert Brooks Defending My Life. Being Mary Tyler Moore, Family Squares. I mean, so much. I'm going through stuff that I never even seen that I didn't know he had a part in. I've got pages, 4 pages of movies. He of course he did Sleepless in Seattle. I mean, excuse me. He did When Harry Met Sally, and that's where he met his wife. His wife was also taken out by the son. Both of them out by their youngest son Nick, and that's what he met her. She was a photographer. He met her on the set of that movie, and him and Penny Marshall had been divorced a couple of years, and from by all accounts, him meeting Michelle, it changed his life. He even changed the end of that movie, When Harry Met Sally, because it's kind of their romance story. And the movie, of course, When Harry Met Sally, when she was in the restaurant acting like she was having an orgasm and she was moaning and groaning, and the older lady that looked up and goes, "I'll have what she's having," that was his mother. I mean, he did so many. I mean, Jersey Girls, A League of Their Own, everything he had his hands in. And, to top it all off, Stand By Me, Stephen King released a statement, and, and at the end of it said, "You always stood by me." And to top it all off, he did a movie, his son, the one that took him out. He did his movie. He had wrote a screenplay, Being Charlie. And it was, like an autobiography type thing. I mean, how many people out there can write a screenplay and their dad has so much clout and they can make it into a movie? I mean, hey, Casey, good to see you, sweetie. But yeah, by all accounts, they were at a party at Conan O'Brien's party last Saturday evening. And drive careful, Dave. And he, walked up to Bill Hader earlier in the evening and was asking questions. And are you famous? And supposedly, Bill Hader was kind of, freaked out by it, which I would be, and supposedly he had been introduced to Bill Hader, so he knew people who people were at that party. So anyway, a fight broke out between him and his parents, and it got so intense they left. Well, he lived in their guest house, but apparently the fight had got intense enough where ended up renting that hotel room, which that plays into everything that happened too. Anyway, sometime Saturday night between then and Sunday morning, he did it, and the massage therapist showed up, and because she had an appointment, she couldn't get in. So their daughter Romy lives across the street. She called Romy and had Romy and her roommate came over and went in, and that's when the horror was discovered. And from what I heard, they weren't ever afraid of him like that. They weren't ever afraid of him doing things like that, but it was known that he would had torn up the guest house multiple times. And he went to his first rehab, one of eight. He went into rehab 18 times, and it started at 15. So I don't know it was if that's when the addiction started, or if it was the mental stuff, because he had like a lot of people with mental illness that do drugs. He had been known to say or quoted as saying, "I just want my head to be quiet. I just want the voices in my head to stop or whatever." Which that's no excuse for him doing what he did. I'm just trying to figure out if it was purely his addiction that made him freak out, was because people were saying they thought he might have been high at the time, but they don't know. Hey, Tom Sheehy, good to see you. I'm trying to figure out, what was going on in his head, but he had been a problem child. They said he'd had through tantrums in his like younger days and would have like fits of rage. And yeah, it's very sad. I would like to know how this kid. Oh, I said the same thing. Jersey girl. He inherited money from his grandpa, Carl Reiner. Carl Reiner was worth money too. He was a big to do in Hollywood too. So they said he had family money already, is what I'm hearing. And yeah, that Alan Jackson did the Karen Reed case. He did her. He was in with the Weinsteins for a while. He's a big time guy. Hey, Stevie B, good to see you too, sweetie. BTF Phoenix, hey. I don't know if I got you a while ago. I think I did. And Joey Dimes too. Glad to see you, Ducks. Good to see you all here. Yeah, it's sad. It's just, and hey, HGT Donnie, good to see you too. It's just sad what could drive, somebody, to just do something like that, because the coroner was saying that the cause of death was sharp force trauma. So, and their throats were cut too. And that when that happens on TV, they make it look they make it look a certain way. They make it look clean. It's too clean, but that's in real life. That's when somebody is cut like that and stabbed. You're hitting major arteries and stuff, and blood's just going everywhere. And the human person has like 5 pints of blood, so I mean that's a lot of blood. And people, when you're stabbed like that, cut like that, you don't die. It's not instant. You lay there and bleed out, and it's just horrible. Well, there's no good way to go, but it's not quick. And they were in bed, so I don't think, after the fight happened and they went home and all that, they weren't. It didn't seem like they were scared for, because like I say, it happened. They say while they were in bed. The EMTs, in fact, at the time didn't even see her mom, and one of the EMTs had to tell her later on, what had happened. But yeah, it was said at that party, he won't even, at the Christmas party, he won't even dressed in proper attire. That he had on like a hoodie and jeans or something. And they were showing him walking around on camera. The police were showing footage of him. Oh, Stevie B, you got stabbed and you didn't even know? Oh. It can be bad, it just depends on where you get cut at. If it's like, in your lungs, or if you're hitting a major artery, uh, it just, it just, that's premeditated. It takes a lot of anger, and a lot of that's like a crime, a passionate type of crime, they call it. Doing that because it takes so much force and so much anger. Plus, he was walking too. He was just it was showing him on the cameras just walking around like he didn't have a care in the world. So, and then he was supposed to come into one day, and they postponed it. They were checking his mental health. So they were showing him going into a convenience store. I don't know if it was before or after, but they were showing him. They said he had been seen before the police were able to arrest him. They said he had been seen around the UCLA area and all that. And he went in a convenience store, and he had a backpack on his shoulder. He had got the room prior to all this. They had him get that room, is what I think I read. But yeah, the police had seen him on cameras. That's how they knew where he. That's how they knew where he was. They arrested him just after he came out of that 7-Eleven or whatever it was. But It's just sad because they did spend so much money putting him, in the rehabs, trying to get him help, and for it to end like this. Yeah, yeah, I didn't get to see it yet. I love the behavioral panel. I don't know if any of you guys watched the behavioral panel or not, but I love them guys. They'll watch these people and their body language. And I watched the one they did, like on Casey Anthony. I've watched a lot of their ones. They get these people, they've got them down. Right, every look, every little blink of the eye, they got them down. But I see Jersey Girl. Yeah, the parents, from by all accounts, they're good people. Rather you agree with their political stance or not, it's just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible because they love their kid. And I can tell you this right now, my kids are grown now, and when your children are grown, there's nothing you can do about how they act. You can't force them into rehab anymore. You can't force them into anything inpatient anymore. You just you're and if they have addiction problems, you're just powerless to handle it. You're powerless. I know what my parents went through, may they rest in peace. When my brother, started with him at 15 and got just out of control, and you try tough love and then you feel guilty because you're like, well, what if somebody's out there? What if I put them out and something bad happens? What if they're hungry? What if they're hurt? What if they're So people can tell you all day long, well, you should do this, you should do that. You don't know what you'll do until you have a grown child that's got themselves into some trouble and you just want to help them get out of it. No matter trouble with, addiction, rather it's, trouble with the law or whatever, we all want to see the best in the people we love. And I don't know what, his sister, she said it. She said it to the police. She accused him right off the bat. She goes, my brother Nick. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the family dynamic. It's going to be interesting to see what the siblings have to say about it. A lot of people are saying, well, you think he'll make it all the way through? Yes. He I don't see his type of personality as the type that would, you know, I don't think he's going to have it too easy in prison. I think he's going to get extorted big time, probably big time. I don't think he'll be that protected. Normally, addiction and the law go hand in hand. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people, if you've had any kind of addiction and been lucky enough not to get in trouble with the police, you've been really lucky because it does. And at the end, I know, yeah, psychiatric care. I know at the end, before my brother got clean, and he's got about 8 years now. He had got in trouble for theft. It was just little stuff to support his habit. But him getting in trouble is what saved him, because he got in trouble for theft and went to jail. And where him and my sister-in-law go to church at, some local business people knew what was going on, and they asked if they could help, if they could pay for a rehab or whatever. And so they helped him out, and he was just tired of living that way. He was finally tired of living that way. So he went to rehab, and then he went to sober living. And so far, he's done really, really good. So it can be done. I mean, my brother, like I say, my brother had overdosed a couple of times. I mean, a couple of times I thought he was a goner. And if he can do it, because he was just at the end anything, I think. And yeah, he's too mentally ill to be with people. I think that. I think that because they were saying the last couple of weeks that the runners had talked to some of their friends and they were really anguished over his well being and what he was going through. Oh, yeah, yeah. But when you've got mental illness mixed in there with addiction, ugh, that just makes it that much harder. That much harder to deal with. And from the sounds of it, like I say, from the time he was a young man. He was in and out of facilities, and I don't know what else he had going on, but you can see the look in his eye. And they took him to that party, because they were afraid to leave him home. And like I say, he had destroyed their guest house several times, and they had to have it fixed. So it's going to be interesting going forward to see what more comes out. What about him and all. And I'll read the Reiner family statement. It says, "We are grateful for the outpouring of condolences and kindness and support we have received not only from family and friends, but people from all walks of life. We now ask for respect and privacy, for speculation to be tempered with compassion and humanity, for our parents to be remembered for the incredible lives they lived and the love they gave, Jake and Romy Reiner." So, and then he had, like I say, he had been married to Penny Marshall first in the 70s. She was, like I say, Laverne on Laverne and Shirley, and she had a daughter, Tracy, and he adopted Tracy. So, yeah, yeah. Well, Romy walking in and seeing her dad, finding her dad first, and then running out, and then the EMTs telling her, your mom's gone too. That just, and like I say, when she must have right away, she said my brother. So, and Billy Crystal and Larry David were neighbors of his, and they were walking around, and I think if I heard right, I think, excuse me, Larry David seen them in the state they were in, but I'm not sure. That could be just a rumor. But yeah, yeah, yeah. He made a movie with his dad called Ben Charlie. And yeah, he had been homeless on and off for a year, but come on. I bet he had a credit card or something. He won't all the way homeless. I just don't believe was homeless, like that. But yeah, Jersey Girl, and my post I had posted about what Jersey Girl come in the chat and said about John Travolta's youngest son being a Presley grandchild, and it coming from an egg donation. Hi, Tatone. Good to see you, sweetheart. The word on that is they had purchased some of Lisa Marie's eggs, but I guess they thought she might have allegedly or whatever, maybe did drugs. And John said he didn't, and I quote, didn't want heroin eggs. So supposedly her ex-husband, Lockwood's a scumbag. I mean, he's always slithering around after a dollar. So he's the one that negotiated the sale of Riley's eggs for $10,000 to $20,000 in an old Jaguar. That's kind of the part that kind of makes me scratch my head, because John Travolta's worth a lot more than that. You wouldn't get him for more than 10 or 20,000 in a car. That makes me scratch my head, but it is in a lawsuit, and that stuff is, when stuff's put in lawsuits like that, it just makes me wonder. Yeah, Laverne and Shirley, remember they were good. Remember Lenny and Squiggy? Man, I can remember being real. I'm telling my age, but I was a real youngster when Laverne and Shirley come on. And All in the Family. I mean, there's no way in the world they could get away with doing All in the Family now. But I don't know if any of you guys remember seeing the episode. You guys know how Archie Bunker was. I don't even have to tell you. So I'm sure you guys seen the episode where Sammy Davis Jr. was on it, and he kissed Archie Bunker right in the mouth that time. And the look on his face, I'm telling you what. Yeah, they could never get away with that. So much different. Hey, Joe, what I'm talking about when I say things were different. My throat's getting scratchy. This cooler weather and allergies, I'm beginning to wonder sometimes if I'm not don't have an allergy to my cats and just don't know it. Never knew I had an animal allergy before, but I never never had cats like, never had a cat like that, for this amount of time either. But they're not long haired cats, so I think I'm okay. Spoiled. I have the spoiledest animals. I have cats and a fish, and they're spoiled. The one's laying on the bed now looking at me. She's so spoiled. I love my animals. It's unfair for me to have a dog because I'm just not able to take them for walks and stuff that they need. But yeah, going back to the John Travolta stuff, and supposedly they're saying the Church of Scientology backed all of it up with supposedly the Benjamin, his youngest one, the 15-year-old. You know, John would be the dad. It would just be the eggs came from Riley, Lisa Marie's daughter. Yeah, yeah. Homeless, homeless. Who are we talking about? This homeless. Oh yeah, yeah. No, homeless. We were saying we didn't think he was like homeless, homeless in the sense that he was going hungry and begging for money. I would be willing to bet he had some kind of account. He was just homeless because he, chose to be and didn't want to follow the rules. But yeah, when addiction comes in there, and I don't know how addicted he was. They're saying that I'm so upset. My cat, who is only a year and a half old, oh, she could have a urinary tract infection. Cats get urinary tract infections very, very easy. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Riley's only 36. So even if she was an adult, her did I don't see her agreeing to it for 10 to 20,000 in a car. And there was a lot in that lawsuit. Hey Ward, good to see a lot. There have been so many allegations against Priscilla. I mean, you know what? I guess I was naive to think that I thought everybody was just a Priscilla fan. I thought everybody loved Priscilla Presley. I thought that, but I fell down I fell down a rabbit hole with that and found out that there are a lot of people that a lot of the Presleys didn't like Priscilla. They thought she was after money, but I'm telling you what, it seems like after Lisa Marie died, everybody that could hit that estate for money hit it. I mean, Priscilla's son, Navarone Garcia, has no relation to Elvis Presley at all, has already got Presley money. Already hit that estate for like allegedly $2.7 million. I mean, and how do you lay claim to something that didn't belong to you? I mean, I don't understand. And they're saying that Lisa Marie wanted life saving measures that they, at the end, and they're saying that Priscilla came right in and pulled her off the ventilators and all before her children, before Riley could get up there and properly say goodbye. And there's just a lot is coming out now. I guess when Lisa Marie was alive, she was protected from a lot of things, but Lisa Marie had put in at the end before she died, changing the paperwork for the trustees to get Priscilla out, because supposedly, Priscilla had allegedly been embezzling money on a lot of money. But supposedly she put a lien on Graceland before Elvis died. When they got divorced, she wanted more money. So she put a lien on Graceland until Elvis gave her more money. So it's just the stuff in the lawsuits just not making her sound good at all. Yeah, I'm hearing. I heard yesterday that who was it? Oh, Priscilla Presley's son Navarone. Her people, her managers or business people or whoever, he had an allowance and they put a certain amount on a card and gave it to him. So I bet he won't out there starving. He was just doing what he chose to do, obviously, because it just yeah, they'll eat up his money. And he, like I say, he did inherit money from his grandpa, and they were saying that Nick Reiner had the attitude that he wanted to be famous, but he didn't want to do the work for it like did it everybody else had done. That he thought that just because his dad was who he was, that it should just come easy. and it should just be at his feet. And that ain't how it works. That is not how it works. Because, like I say, even Rob Reiner himself, had all of these movies. I mean, all these TV shows in his name. I mean, Alex and Emma, Hail Caesar, The Golden Age of Comedy, The Muse. I mean, like I say, When Harry Met Sally, The Bucket List, Everyone's Hero, Rumor Has It, Dickie Roberts. That was a good movie. I mean, I've seen just about all of them. The Wolf of Wall Street, The Magic of Belle Isle, Flipped, Certifiably Jonathan. Um, let's see. Norman Lear, Just Another Version of You, Being Charlie, that with his son. And So It Goes was one. So, and then here we go. Andre the Giant, Shock and Awe, LBJ, The Last Laugh. He did like I said, the Spinal Tap movies. I mean, he had so much under his belt. He worked for his wife was, like I say, she was a photographer. Bob Joyce. Who's Bob Joyce, War? I don't know if I've heard any of that or not. Bob Joyce. You have to tell me who that is. With all the money Mr. Travolta has and all the women in the world. Yeah. Well, at the time, all that was going on back then, with his son and all, and Kelly getting pregnant, all those allegations were against John Travolta about messing with those male massage therapists. So, yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, tell who is Bob Joyce? Who is that? For some reason, the name sounds familiar. But yeah, look, Anna Nicole Smith, they fought for years and it cost them money. Fought over who was Danny Lynn's daddy, but that millionaire, she was J. Howard Marshall, that Anna Nicole was married to. His son was like, well, his son's dead now. He was in his 70s back when he was suing Anna Nicole, way older than her. But he was trying to keep her from getting money, and he said it didn't matter how much it cost him. He'd keep it in court forever if he could keep her from getting however much. Southern. I'm from North Carolina, sweetheart. Yep, North Carolina. It's a Southern accent. Southern. The land of cotton. Oh, Dixie. But yeah, 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 they did. They fought. They fought. It would have still kept being in court up until J. Howard Marshall III died. But I think him dying, there was some type of settlement. And now, with her being gone, and her little girl's so pretty. Danny Burkhart, her dad takes her to the Derby every year, but that's as much as you see. Yeah. Yeah, let me look him up, War. But yeah, yeah. There was so many crooked people surrounding Elvis Presley. I mean, that poor man, everybody had their hands in his pockets. But yeah, that Bob Joyce sounds familiar. But yeah, Elvis, everybody since he passed away. Oh yeah, he's a pastor. Oh, okay. Okay. That's why I know that name. He looks like Elvis from Oh, he's the one that they're saying looks like Elvis or is Elvis or whatever. Is that what it is, War? Because I thought I did. Yeah, thought I did hear something about. Yeah, they were saying he was Elvis, and yeah, he's a preacher. I did hear a little bit about him, but I'm gonna have to go back and look. I'm gonna have to go look again. Yeah, the Memphis Mafia. Poor Elvis. I mean, like I say, everybody had their hand. Hey, Fish, good to see you. Everybody had their hands in Elvis's pocket. And I mean, since he's been dead, he's funded so many lifestyles for people. It's not even funny. I mean, and when Elvis died, he was just about bankrupt, and it was, I gotta say, Priscilla, whose idea it was to start making money off Graceland, and she basically got him out of bankruptcy because, but there's still been financial problems here in the last little while. Everybody, like I say, when Lisa Marie died, it just opened it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did. Back to J. Howard Marshall. He did. He like I say, he didn't want her to get nothing, and it's like when his dad married her, he wanted to be happy. I mean, people can say, "Oh, she was a gold digger," and I guess I'd probably see it that way too if I was his kids. But it's Yeah. Yep. The money on the music. Yep. The record companies make the money. The artists get paid very little on sales, and they have to go out and tour. I mean, look at Elton John. Do you think he was happy doing the tour in the last 20 years? He should have been done. He should have been done 40 years ago. Elton John should have been. Look at all these guys. And you know what's even sadder? Vince Neil. Have any of y'all seen Vince Neil? Something inside me. Look at his face. His, let's see which side. It's either his left side of his. What, he looks like he's had a stroke. Vince Neil looks like he's had a stroke, and it looks like he struggles to remember the words to his own songs. But you and Elvis have the same birthday. Yeah, he was a twin, and so you were a twin too. Oh, hold on, he was a twin, and so was I. Oh yeah, really? He was a chick magnet. So I hear you, tattooing. You are rather sharp. You are rather sharp. You know them sunglasses and that hat. Go, you go, boy. Yeah, the limelight can be horribly addicting. I can't imagine what it would be like to just be out there. Somebody else must have come on. I'm going to start wrapping this up because they probably did. It would be hard, as easy as we think it would be. It's got to be hard when people are watching you. What, and every little thing you do, there's a camera in your face, or there's somebody writing about it. You don't have any freedom to do anything no more. You can't get up in the middle of the night and just go to McDonald's and get a burger, or go out shopping at the mall anymore, without being harassed. Yeah, Elton John was very smart. Him and Bernie were very, very smart, and another one that was smart with their musical stuff, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson got a lot of Beatles stuff, I think. I heard, but Bernie was smart. They were all smart when they're publishing, and that's the key, because that's where they get them at. Then like you say, then like they're out touring. Who wants to be out touring? Dolly Parton, smart businesswoman too, very smart lady, very smart lady. Well, anyway, I think I'm kind of winding down now. I appreciate y'all for coming. I did 32 minutes. We'll be talking more about the Reiner case, because I'm sure, in the coming days, this is still real new. So if any of y'all got any ideas or anything you guys want me to come on and talk about, just let me know, and I'll be glad to. I appreciate y'all for coming, and have a good evening.